Here's some things to look for when you're doing maintenance on an air conditioner. The first thing I like to do is check the thermostat. Right now it's set for 72 degrees and inside the space is 72 degrees. Now, if the unit was struggling to meet that set point, it could be an indication of a problem with the unit. When approaching a unit, you want to listen for any weird sounds. That could be a sign of a failing component, like this. This is a bad fan motor. Before opening the unit up to take a look, you want to make sure you kill the main power. If it's a split unit, you'll have two disconnects. You want to make sure both of them are off. Make sure your filters are clean and replace if needed. Not only will it help you breathe better, but your unit will run better. This is the evaporator fan section. You want to make sure your belt is in good condition, that your pulley and flywheel isn't worn out, and that everything spins freely. And again, make sure the power is off before you do this. You want to make sure your condenser fans are running. This unit has two condenser fans. They're off right now because I killed power to the unit. This is the condenser coil. Air flows in between these fins, so you want to make sure it's as clean as possible. All right, so when I'm dealing with electrical, I like to make sure all my connections are nice and tight. You can give everything a nice little tug to make sure it doesn't come out of place. I want to make sure none of my wires are burnt or discolored, and I want to make sure all wire insulation is intact and not peeling off. Just a fun fact, one loose connection can blow a fan motor or compressor and cost you a few grand in service fees. So you want to just make sure everything's intact. And again, make sure the power is off before you do anything. This is the compressor section. This unit has two compressors. You want to make sure you don't see or hear any refrigerant leaks or any signs of oil, which could mean there's a leak. I use these refrigerant gauges when I want to get more information on how the unit is performing. You don't need to use these every maintenance trip. It's usually used for service, but it's good to hook them up maybe quarterly to see exactly what's going on inside your unit. Make sure your condensate pan underneath your evaporator coil and your condensate line are clean and free of obstructions, and that fluid can flow freely into the drain. Another thing I like to do, if the unit is accessible like this one is, grab some good old degreaser, spray and wipe the unit down. That's about it. I'm out.